I'm at the showrooms of Concorde Motorhomes in Ashbach in northern Bavaria. A very nice village to come to. Lots of things to do and to see here, in my opinion, although of course I'm interested in such things. Outside I've got my motorhome parked because there is a Stellplatz there, and it's quite a large one as well. You can see that in another film. And what I'm going to do now though is I'm going to show you some of the vehicles which are available here. I'm going to start off with this one here, Concorde Liner, a vehicle which won't give you much change from €1,250,000, and it is pretty big for European roads, although I'm well aware that my American viewers are used to this type of size. Oh, let's see if we can get the information up there. I don't know how much that's going to be visible, but I'll read it to you. Length 911 centimeters, width 245, height 368, 10-ton basis, which will give a payload of 1.8 tons. Liner Plus 890L. Right, so if you feel comfortable with a 9-meter long vehicle, that's got to be the first question. I don't think it's so much about being 9 meters which is the problem. It's more the width, which is 245, and for me, I think that was the thing that would bother me. Now, as I often do, starting at the back, look at that enormous amount of space you've got in there. Incredible. And got this huge payload as well. Of course you couldn't stick the whole 1.8 tons in the back here, because that would, but I should imagine you get a significant amount of that here. I'd say at least, well, at least a fifth of it anyway. Got your electrics up there, which is a very convenient place to keep your electrics, and got some space here for other things. Obviously the electrics are, oh, as you might have noticed, the light came on. The light comes on automatically as they come in. These grills go up there and up there, and so that sort of hides the electrics with inverters in there and the charger and other things. The door at this end is bigger than the door at the other end, but you know, when the garage is this big, I don't think that makes the slightest bit of difference. So we'll go in. Two steps up. And we've got this magnificent living area. Now, first thing I'm going to point out is the amount of space around the driving position. So if there's two of you, and this is a van for two people, although it can entertain many more, but really it's like being in a luxury hotel room. The most luxurious hotel I've ever stayed at in my life was the Charles Hotel in Munich, and that was so luxurious I couldn't get to sleep in it. I tried sleeping in one direction and then in the other, and I couldn't. But when I see motorhomes like this, it sort of reminds me of the Charles Hotel. Now I'm sitting in my favourite seat here, looking back and admiring the view. Now, at €250,000, that is easily a couple of houses for most people. Of course, it could be that you're thinking, why don't we just sell the house and just travel for the rest of our lives? Well, you could do something like that in a vehicle like this very easily, and there's a stack of space inside. I'll look at the lighting above. So you've got your aircon, you've got your extractor fan. Now sometimes they put a spare bed here, which I don't like at all, because I'd rather be able to stand up here and look back, and I've got so how much, oh, I don't even know how much headroom there is. It must be at least 2 meters there. At least, possibly more. So it gives this feeling of space rather than being encumbered by a spare bed. I do, however, notice that the table will go down. Well, it won't make much of a bed, but I'm sure in emergency circumstances it will do. And of course, you've got the 2 couches there as well. Fantastic panoramic view, and this is more of a sort of a bit more like a lorry in a way, because there isn't the huge amount of space you sometimes get down there as you do in integrated motorhomes. Blinds here. And I note blinds coming across as well, and blinds at the bottom. So not having the bed, you get all this extra storage, was another advantage. Okay, shutters here. To walk down the back. What do you think of having the glass cabinet? I think it makes it look rather nice, although I can see a little bit of work there keeping the glasses polished. In the kitchen we've got this huge amount of workspace area. 3 burners and a sink, which I'll show you right now. You can see it's been moulded in, so it hasn't been sort of stuck in. There's no silicone in there or anything like that. And it has domestic type plug holes. Rather than the chopping board, we've got a proper cover, which I think makes more sense. I don't actually know anybody who uses the chopping boards provided the motorhomes. Down here we have a Klarstein dishwasher. For those who don't fancy washing up after eating. If you've got this much water on board, then a dishwasher won't be such a great problem. Here we've got additional storage. Alternatively, I suppose you could put one of these coffee machines. I wouldn't, but others might. This opens like this, catches under there, and that opens. You can see the catch. Plenty of storage. Also, very good quality hinges. I need to do a film about hinges one day. Knives, forks and spoons. And there's of course lock for transport, like that. Double floor down here, giving access to the water. Note how the floor is completely flat, although of course in a vehicle of this nature that is something you would expect. grill there, and fridge and freezer. As you'd be going away for a long time in a vehicle like this, you'd need a fair bit of hanging space, and that's just what you've got there. And also on the other side as well. This I would call a dressing area. Big shower, toilet, and of course this can be closed here. And opened. And should you want to do the same, the other side, you can do it. That might be beneficial if you had other people in here. Now, I've asked the question, do people close these things at night? And I did happen to notice that some of my neighbours on the campsite were doing that, although they left the front lights on so I could see. But I personally have never done that. But okay, now I know. Big mirror. There's me using my old camera. I've gone back to using this camera. It doesn't have a very wide angle, but at least it's got good stabilization, and that is currently what interests me. I only just found out what a gimbal is. I found that out at the weekend when somebody wrote to me, so I'll have to get one of them. Now, sink, once more, completely moulded. No silicone. Domestic plug. Storage under here. We all forget to close these things, I know, before we go off, but they will open whilst driving, no matter how good the vehicle is. What could be down here? Water. And a bed. With very useful for charging mobile phones. Storage along the top. Windows at either side. I'm not so keen on the joinable beds as a rule, but I quite like this one. Of course, I'll be sleeping widthwise. I don't need to sleep lengthwise, because I'm not tall enough. Something I'm grateful for. I was talking to somebody at Stuttgart who is over 2 meters, and what problems he would have with a van. Having said that, last weekend there was something in the paper about the tallest person in the world meeting the smallest person. She's from India, he's from Turkey. So now we'll have a walk around the outside. as these vehicles are quite tight together, it might be a bit difficult to see around the side. But anyway, you get the impression. There's plenty of storage down there. So there you go. A vehicle which costs €1/3 of €1 million.